Nice to see you. How are you? Have we got some viewers? I hope so. I do hope so. How are you? And welcome to continuing. We're on part 3. Part 3, and boy oh boy do I have so many parts to go. Going to be painting so very much. That's all right. Hello and welcome. Here's a little look at the pieces I made or was working on before. This one I've added a bit to. Not really sure how I feel about what I've added to it, but we can have a little look. They're still wet as anything because they are oil based. But let's see what we can see here. Hello. Keep on you liked my keep on painting. There's going to be a lot of keep on painting and keep on and on and on and on. It's basically what the names of it will be. Clint. Hello. So I've added some more to this, but the clouds not so good. The mountains, to be honest, it's a sketch. It's kind of it's missing a few things for me in quite a few ways, but that's all right. Now this one I'm still a bit in love with this. I added a few leafy things, but this too has a lot more to go. But because of the way everything stays wet for so long, I'm going to have to leave it as it is for now, I think. I'm going to be leaving it like that. And then I'm just going to let it dry and see what happens in the future. So I'll just pop those to the side for now. Let's just chill over there. Got my newspaper down. Got a background ready. We're still working on sketches. I'm still trying to work out how I feel about oil painting and things. Hello, Rose. Nice to see you. Thanks, Rose. Rose says she likes them. Thank you very much. I'm glad you like them. Got lovely brushes here. I'm sure you've caught up with the other viewings of this, and I appreciate you guys being here. What I'm going to do is start with a little sketch, because I know I've been starting like this, so I've got a little reminder for myself. How are we finding the... feeling a bit blurry, isn't it? Please bear with me 1 second. I wonder if this being a bit brighter, I wonder if that's going to help. Let's see. Yeah, that helps a little bit, I think. Not so blurry, not so quickly. Get some brightness in the space. Got all my tools around me. Very excited to have a go again. Oh, I've got to do a crucial thing. Gotta remember to open that window because oil paints are not really safe for being in such small homes, which is one of the reasons why I haven't done oil painting before. Also, not having a long visa, which means it's been silly to try and have things that are heavy and all that in my home. That's been another reason that I haven't done oil painting before. There's quite a lot of reasons. Sorry if I cough a little bit here and there today. I'm a little unwell. Did I try? Yes, I did, Clint. I tried using the palette knives. It worked quite well, but the problem is that my artwork was still too wet, so I should have saved it really, but I was getting overexcited because you saw how I loved the palette knife towards the end of that experience there. So let's have a little look over here. Just going to do a quick little thingy. Let me see. 1 second. I know what I'll do. I'm going to pop a little tripod on you and get you up a bit higher. Boop, 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 boop. Here we go. If I get you up a bit higher, maybe this. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit better for you. You can look directly down upon it. I've got a Japanese English newspaper behind there. The Japan Times. They're in English, which is quite the something. Right, what I'm going to do, have a little look at some of my pictures here. Let's have a look. There's quite an interesting piece here. Fireworks, trying to convey fireworks might be kind of fun thing to do. Hello, you can see me here as well in the background of my phone. Quite a simple one for fireworks. This is something in Ukraine, seeing the Banksy stencils over over here. And they're from my old postcards from Heygo tours. This one I'm loving. I think I might have to go big right away for that one. Who knows? That one's in Times Square with Yusuke. That's the hello that needs to be added to the other one. And this is a nice one. Hands working on beads, making beads in Africa with the paper something. Just paper beads. What am I on about? Sorry, not very well, so my brain's a little bit slow. What shall I have a go at next? Hot air balloons? Paper beads? Maybe this one. I've got an idea that maybe this is going to look really nice with the palette knife. Especially small. What do you think? Fireworks or ruins? Unfortunate ruins in Ukraine. Which do you think I should have a little go at today? It's a horrible story of these, but I think it's important to create and share all kinds of art. The ruin. Okay, I'm hoping to get with a palette knife, and you know I've got a newfound love of the palette knife and walls. So who knows what'll come. Oh, you're hoping for fireworks? Okay, that's 2 for fireworks. If anyone's going to change it, they need to give it a shout now. And by the way, Nancy, thank you very much for signing up to the alpaca crew, and Clint is in that too. Rose, do let me know if you're in that, and I'll give you extra thanks your way. I've got foil over here. I'm just going to get a little bit of foil ready. It's 2 for fireworks so far, guys. So unless anyone says otherwise, it's fireworks ahoy. Wrapping a bit of foil around my old Heygo sign. I'm going to use that as my palette here. You know what? Maybe if I do it this way, it won't shine so brightly at you when I'm working. Okay, looks like we're going to try and make fireworks. But with any luck, we'll see how it goes. Perhaps I'll do both. But I've just got to get them started, haven't I? There we go. I think that's not going to shine at you quite as badly. Okay, let's have a look. Fireworks. It's a nice simple one. So I get to choose if maybe that comes in a little bit like that. I get to choose if it's... Oh, maybe fireworks down in the bottom corner is going to be cool. I'll show you what I mean by that. Right, 1 second. Get a couple things out of the way. Don't need that. Here's my little pencil case. Little big pencil case. Fireworks got a lot of black and yellow. Ooh, this is going to be exciting. A study of black and yellow. This was with Hero in Nara. So I'm going to make a square, the same as this kind of square that I'm using. I have time for ruins at a later date. I'm sure if you can. When the oil paint dries, you'll have time for ruins at a later date. Sorry, what does that mean? With the way oil paint dries, you'll have time for ruins at a later time for sure if you can in this one. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the idea. I've got loads of things I've got to make. I've got not enough time to do it. This is making an art exhibition in a month. An oil painting one. So many might say I'm kind of stupid, kind of silly. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is pop those fireworks over in this corner. I think it might look quite cool. I'm the artist, so I get to choose. I get to choose what that looks like. So let's get massive fireworks down here. Just kind of planning my composition. Sorry, I'm not very well. I'm going to sound better and worse throughout the day, depending on when you catch me. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I quite like this purpley colour that's down here. That is shining through quite nicely. So I'm going to get it in my sketch, this kind of purpley pinkness that's coming through. And that complements yellow perfectly. Not my favourite, but purple's not my favourite, but it does do wonders for a yellow, and yellow is my favourite colour. So, you know, I can forgive it. And we got the sparkler. I think I'm going to have that cut right through the page. How big will my canvas be in the exhibition? So these are my little sketches. My big ones are about 5 times this size. 5 times this size, about this big. Not wildly big. Postable, if you get me. Postable. I'm sure some of you guys will be interested in purchasing some. And people like Clint and Lauren, who are already in part of the annual subscription for the Kenda Packer Club. You guys could even choose one of them if you wanted, or you can have a special one made for yourselves. Probably. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Of course, I think I might have to take paying customers first for those ones, and you guys get special things made in the future. Right, so this was Hero. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to annotate it a little bit. I want bright. I'm going to annotate bright. Going to say, don't forget purple. Complementary. And this one, so dark. And I'm going to write here, use white in this bit. What can I say? White. Just try and get it bright. This was with Hero. So, Nara, Japan, with Hero. Summer festivals. Okay, and what day are we looking at? 23, fourth moon. We got the fourth moon. We got the 23rd sun. Here we go. And this is what I'm going to use to sort of keep track on what I'm doing here. So gonna pop that up there. Now, if you've got questions about what I'm using and stuff throughout, you're welcome to ask them. I am, however, I do, however, have a what I'm using actual video available, so you can check that out as well in your own time. Just because oil paint gets absolutely everywhere, so I'm gonna pop a little bit of this underneath there on my very cheap easel. Am I gonna do that much? You know what? I'm gonna wrap it around the easel. The reason I'm doing that is not because I care about the easel, but because if the easel gets used for anything else, if it's got oil paint on it, the oil paint is going to get on everything, because it's going to take at least a week to dry, to be honest. So hello everybody, how are you? Are you here and well? I'm using these little, they're actually for watercolour. It's probably a bit silly getting proper watercolour ones, and then covering them in a primer, covered in a proper thick primer. At first it came out thin because I hadn't stirred it, but it's actually this thick one here. And it's very potent. I take that outside because it's messy and potent, to be able to start making sure there's a non-porous background. Where should we go? What should we do? Here? Sure. Little Pikachu poking out of the corner. That's nice. I'm putting a little bit of masking tape down to be able to hold my piece up somewhere. Hold it up a little higher. Yeah. How are you all? If anyone hasn't said a hello, I think Sarah and the girls are here. Sarah and Rebecca. Maybe doggy training in the background. Got a little show dog or something. Sounds pretty great, if you ask me. Just standard masking tape here. Hooey. Sorry if I come across a bit low energy sometimes. I've been very ill all week, and I'm nursing all kinds of bleh. But I'm doing my best to still be here for the bodies, you guys. Okay. Busy day cleaning the house. Pikachu! Yes, it is a Pikachu. Peeking. Okay. Let's have a look, shall we? This easel was literally like 100 yen. So it's not much money at all. It's not a good one. Oh, you've got a tea maker, Nancy. Please explain that. Do you mean a teapot or something different? Nancy said, I'd offer you a tea, but my maker is... Unless your maker... You said your maker is drying somewhere. Do you mean you've got a partner that's drying in the background? Because that'd be funny. Dung, dung, dung. I want one more thing. Just going to reach over here. I don't trust this today. Why don't I trust it? It's not being trustworthy in the background. We'll see. Go for that. Okay. Apologies, I really want to cough. My teapot, I use it for tea and hot chocolate. Hi, Charity, nice to see you. Excuse me, you make hot chocolate in a teapot? How do you do that? That must be a nightmare to clean. It must be a nightmare. Right, we've got these gorgeous Holbein oil paints I'm going to be using just down here. I'll try and let you see what I'm doing in this little section too whenever I'm mixing up my colours on what I'm calling a palette. Put them here. Here they are. You can see the full tutorial of kind of what stuff I'm using in the special video. Boil the water and pour it separate. Okay, lovely. That sounds nice. Sorry, British person was about to get quite upset at whatever you were doing to the teapot. Here's my low toxicity brush cleaner. Now you see, you get to use it again quite easily because all of the oily bits sinks to the bottom. All that sediment goes down to the bottom. So after a day or two, you can use it again quite easily anyway. I'm using this little glass jar to put my linseed oil in. Linseed oil is going to loosen up my my oil paints and let them go a little bit further, but you don't need much at all. You can use a variety of different oils. Now, I'm new to oil painting, so you might see me do things you're just like, what on earth, Kendall? That's totally wrong. Please do it better next time. That's fine. I'm both here to service you and not here to service you at all, so I'm not going to be offended. I'm not too interested in, I don't know, doing anything other than what I want to do. So you can tell me I'm doing things wrong. Don't be offended if I please try not to be offended if I don't listen too much, because I don't really care. If you're telling me I'm doing something dangerously wrong, then I'm here, I'm listening, I do care. But I'm an artist that is here to experiment and enjoy. And I hope that something about the way I do things encourages a little bit of the same in you. So yeah, let's see how we go with that. I'm going to start with the lights and the brights. And I'm just going to try and cast out where I want my box, actually. But then we're going to have to be quite careful about how maybe I'll get thin black in the background. Maybe super thin black in the background is the way. And then go over the top with a box that's quite, that's more 3D, that stands out with the palette knife. You know what? These are my sketch pieces. These are me trying to work out what works. So you know what? I might be really bold and just put black in the background. Let me see. Should I go stark black, or do you think I should make a black out of brown? What do you guys think? I will occasionally ask advice if you... I'll ask for suggestions. I like that kind of engagement, if you'll have me for such a thing. What do you think? Shall I make a natural black, or shall I use the ivory black? What do you think? What would you like to see? Dum, 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 dum. No responses coming in. Oh, every time I did this on Heygo, I'd get completely opposite responses. I've got one for natural black, one for ivory black. Can I get any more for either? Ooh. I was leaning towards a natural black for a second. How far do I need them to stretch? I do know what you mean by that, but also, what do you mean by that? Like this, it's a new set. I know I can make as many pieces as I like. It's my own exhibition. I can choose. You've never seen ivory black. So that just means a very, very strong, stark black in a pot. But I think I'm going to avoid black for this exhibition. I'm going to... maybe that's what Nancy was hinting at. Like maybe use black if I need them to stretch further. So what I'm going to do is put the darkest ultramarine and the brown that they've got here. I'm going to make use of that brown. I'm going to mix in, maybe this kind of dark green colour. That'll help my paints go further, is maybe what Nancy's hinting at there. I'm going to try and make a natural black here. Now I've got a kind of natural black happening in other things. And use the ivory to stretch my paints out. Well, the thing is, I'd need the tiniest amount of that ivory actually, because I'd only need the tiniest amount because black is just so strong. Right. I think I'm going to mix these with the brush, which I think is controversial. One second, let me try and get my head straight here. No, I'm not. I'm going to mix with the palette knife. I'm going to mix with a different palette knife. Let's see what that feels like. Okay, so I've added linseed oil to this. I'm going to try and mix these up a little bit. Paste, spread, push around. For natural black, it's got a hint of green happening in it. Hard to paint on top of a black background. Not if your underlayer is as thin as possible. So what I'm going to do is be quite generous all around, but go extra thin in the area that I would like my box to be. But I'm going to go for my box being very thick. I'm going to use the palette knife to create the box, I think. So what I'm doing is playing. I'm just having a little go here, seeing what can come out. Now this is a little bit of a green toned black. I think I'm going to put a dark red in it and maybe a bit more brown. I've got a little bit of kitchen paper here. Oh, that's all right, lovely. We're all here to learn together in a way. We're all here to learn together. That might be way too much red, so I'm going to pop a little bit over here because we don't need all that in one go. But I might need a little bit more of this brown. Let's go down here a little bit. Are you guys all well today? How are you? Do let me know how you're doing. I hope you're healthy as can be. Put a bit more linseed oil in this. Oh, I did accidentally touch it a little bit. It's fine. It's a beautiful day here in Japan. So I'm a British artist that's been living in Japan for 3.5 years, very happily. I do really like it here. People often ask if I'm homesick or something. I'm afraid I don't really get homesick, but I think if coronavirus hadn't happened, I might have gone homesick. Oh, Charity's got bad allergies. Sorry, lovely. Oh, jubilation. Sorry, Nancy is saying my sketch is looking more like one of those fever dreams. Well, sorry about that. It's kind of cool, but yeah, if it's not what you're going for, sorry about that. Okay, so we've got this muddy, chocolatey, dark black kind of colour. I like it. I think I like it. Yeah, and I think the brownness of it, because it's a kind of dark black brown, blue black brown, I'm calling it. I think the yellow is going to look really cool with it, I think. You might think, that looks disgusting. What have you made there, Kendall? It's not chocolate I'd eat. Let's give it a go. Right, already got some linseed oil on this as well. Mix up a little bit more. Linseed oil is going to stretch the paint. It's going to make it go much further. Now, I want it really thin over here. I can keep wiping it off. And then thick. 1 second. My paintbrush and you guys are too close. 1 second. I need some more space between you guys and the paintbrush. There we go. Okay, now don't worry too much. I'm just learning. I might go for an all-round, like all different directions. The great thing about oil paint is no matter what I put on, I can push it around into a different shape in the background. Now this is a little bit thin on the outside, thick on the outside, thick. But you know what? I think I might use the background to do something a bit like futurism. You know, futurism back in the 1920s. Yeah, around the 1920s. So we had Art Deco and Futurism were quite close to each other as we turned into the industrial age. So maybe there's something I can do here like this, bursting out from the fireworks. Maybe I can get a really cool kind of pattern. Makes it look like the light of the fireworks is really beaming through the space. So I'm just going to put it down quite roughly, the paint, and then we'll see what happens as we move around into it. Leave a kind of box-like shape in the middle for my box. And go into that with a palette knife after. Might have a bit of impressionism coming in as well, checking out all the different art history types going on. Let's see what happens. I got to choose the size of my box as well. Probably, I normally go quite big, but the composition will look nicer if I go a little bit smaller. So I'll try and be brave and go a bit smaller, which is the opposite of braveness normally for drawing and stuff. Right. Now I'm going to just lightly brush in this bit. You don't need much paint at all going on in the middle. I can even brush it off with kitchen paper. People usually use cloths, but I'm trying not to have anything wildly flammable around. And also I've been a bit sick, so I haven't been able to sort out everything I want anyway. Right, this is fun. I'm going to play with the direction of the paint. Try and think about how I want my fireworks to feel. So I could start in the background and have everything in a star formation, brushing one out onto the other. But I don't know, I quite like the haphazard. Because the haphazard feels a bit like, you know, when a sparkler is going and everything's going in every direction, a bit like that. So let me go around the outside. I'm going to go thick on the very outside. That's fine. Or the only thing I've got to worry about there is whether or not I stick my finger in it. Literally stick my finger in it. So I'm going to try not to literally stick my finger in it. And I'm happy, actually, that I've gone for the natural brown, black, blue, brown, black, blue, 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 blue. So the brushes that we use in oil painting I say that like I'm an oil painter. I'm not. You're literally watching me become an oil painter, hopefully. You are what you use. I'm an oil painter. I'm using the oil paints. Yes. So it's the brushes you choose, they're coarser. They're more coarse. Coarser, is that what? They're more coarse, which means that the brush strokes appear in what you're working on. You know what? I could go thick and dark around the outside and much more thin around here. So let me try and take some of this off. And take it off in two ways. Take it off my brush here. And then I can also lift it from the canvas like this. I could do that with kitchen roll, or as you can see, it's coming out quite successfully with the brush now, which is good. And I can change the thickness of the brush, which might be quite cool. Oh no! Oh, I just dropped that in my paint. Can't be a pro right from the start. 1 second, let's move that out of the way. Okay. So I've got an idea. We've got thick strokes around the outside, right? I might go for thin strokes closer to where the fireworks are going to be doing their twinkle twinkle, because we're going to see these strokes. Paint my own hand in the process. I hope oil paint is good for your skin. I guess it is. They say oils are good, right? You want oils in your skin. I don't know if these, sorry, potent ones are what they had in mind, but still. Let's go for a littler brush. If I go super little, maybe I could even scribble them. Yeah, this might give a sparkler-like effect, you know? Now, I really am just having a play with these sketched little pieces. And I haven't learnt this anywhere. I've just, as I've been having a play, I've thought this up. And I like teaching people when making art that they can do things that are just so childlike and fun. Do you know what I mean? Just trying to teach people to chill. Just make for making's sake. Don't try and compete with someone else. Don't try and compete with anything. Anyway, I think that's pretty fun. Can you get a hint of it? Is the light kind of shines onto it? Can you see what's going on there? This is you guys nodding, right? Yes, Kendall, I've got it. Yes. No, I don't understand. What are you doing? Is that a sign of me becoming healthier as I start making stupid jokes on my live stream? Excuse me. Nancy gives me a little heart. How are you guys doing? Let's get some other colors in. Let's use a different palette knife, I think. Excuse my stunted breathing in the background. Right. Clean it. This is why I decided to go for a palette knife there, because I can clean that just by wiping it, which is satisfying. Yeah, let's get a box happening. You know what? Let's get the purple part of the box. No, not the purple part. Let's go for, see what we're looking at. I'm going to go down in this corner. Oh, I'm actually so excited to be doing this. I actually think I really, really love oil paints, and all I've done is 2 hours worth of painting with oils on those other two pieces. Ah, so excited. I'm loving it. Loving it. Right. Can I steal a little bit of the brown from something else? Go get a little bit of that linseed oil. Shake it onto some of these other things. Just to the side. I do want it to flow a little bit better, so there's no harm just dropping a little bit of that on some of those, I don't think. This kind of colour. Again, it doesn't really matter if it's exacting, whatever that is. I think I'm going to get a tiny bit of blue. I'm just going to get a touch of blue. I'm going to let the blue sort of kiss the palette. There we go, just in case I need a tiny bit of blue. I'm loving how far the oil paint goes. Is one of the coolest things. Loving it. The gentlest little squeeze. That's what I like. It's so fun when you find a new thing that you just love making art with. You just don't want to stop. Exactly. Don't worry, I translated you midair. Okay, let's have a look. Now this is why I put a few different squirts of white around so that I could play with them a bit if I wanted to. Now all I've got to do is have it be thicker. This thicker colour will allow me to go over the black that's already on there. And I'm hoping the palette knife will allow me, might need a bit more of the oil to get it to allow me to do it very well. I'm hoping it'll allow me to get a nice angle, nice edge on it. So I need the smoothness from the linseed oil. So you know what? Get this. I did very badly at science and math because I just math, whatever. I don't know what country you live in. Because, I don't know, it wasn't history and art like I love. The teacher in science was actually really great, but I just did really badly in them. But it's not because I'm not good at science and math. It's just because I didn't want to do it in the ways they're doing it. For example, I can do dressmaking, right? I can do dressmaking. I can take 2D things and turn them into 3D objects. That's a commendable thing to self-teach yourself to do. And I did that. And then, you know, color mixing and things, or learning about the properties within the within paints, or how they mix, or why they mix, or why they set, or why they dry. Now, what I can't tell you is the names of everything that's happening. I can't tell you the scientific names of what's happening, but I can show you how to do it, and I can tell you why it's doing that way. And I think that's why I got E's in both of those, because I wasn't doing it as you're meant to. Now, right, down in there first, there's a really bright bit. I think I might get that really bright bit in there first, which looks like a mix of this one and this one. Got to just be brave at some point and stick the colour on the version of a canvas I'm using. I got to try and not go too big like I usually do. I'm also not very well, so my hand's not very steady. The way they did them didn't hold my attention in the same way. My old math teacher taught in sports metaphors, and it was great. It made sense to me. Sewing class was great. That's cool, yeah, when they put it in a different way. I try and do that with my students when I am teaching English, right? I try and put it in a way they understand. I try and compare something. For example, so in English, we often say things like, what do you want? Or where do you want to go? We join up all the words together, right? And Japanese people, they'll be practicing, they'll be learning English, and they'll say, where do you want to go? What do you want? What do you want to do? And sometimes it's quite hard to say it all. It becomes quite a mouthful. And I'm like, look, it gets joined together. We say it like this, joined together. And they're like, oh, that's even more difficult. And I just remind them, but it constantly happens in Japanese as well, right? They're always doing it. For example, they say, arigatou gozaimasu. Everyone's heard, arigatou gozaimasu. Arigatou. It means thank you very much. But they don't really say that. If you go to a shop, they're not really saying, arigatou gozaimasu. They're saying, arigatou gozaimasu. It all joins together. Arigatou gozaimasu. All totally joined together. I try and remind people of things like that. There are crossovers. So I'm just playing. I don't mind if it goes wrong, whatever wrong is. Just playing. It's fine. Just learning, just playing. And the one trick I do know is if you want more to go over something underneath, you just got to go thicker with your next one. This box kind of pinky yellow grey. Now, I do want lots of strong white in the middle, or a whitish yellow. But so far for the actual box, I think I want a greyish colour. Greyish red colour. I don't know why there's red in it, but I can see red in it. Move a couple of things out of the way. Flint says, I understand what you're saying. I didn't enjoy my piano lessons as a child because my teacher marked me down for my fingering. I have smaller hands, so I made up finger positions that worked for me. Exactly. Right, let's see what I can do here. Now, the thing I do want around here is a strong edge. So I might have to use something else ultimately. I know what I could use ultimately. Not doing that. Pick it up. Don't be afraid to pick it up. Strong edge. Bit of yellow in the edge. Love it. I might move that in a minute, but for now I'm going to leave it in there because I quite like the idea of you seeing how I made the art. So for now I'm going to leave that in, but otherwise I can take it off and rework into that bit. No stress. But for now I'm just going to leave it in because I think it kind of adds to it. And I'm not trying to create an exact replica of what I'm looking at. I'm trying to create a version that satisfies me. So we'll see. I'm trying to make a version that brings me joy, sparks joy for me. Might be big, might be the wrong perspective. I don't care. If anyone gets the feeling of a box of fireworks when they look at this, I'll say my job is done. Over time, if I decide I like oils, I might get better. Well, I might be able to exact something more accurately, and that for some people might be better, but it might not necessarily be better to me. A lot of people, sometimes if I spend a long time making art, people say, oh my goodness, you're so good now. I'm like, no, thank you. That was just me spending more time in that moment. I had more time that day, that year, that someone was giving me more money to make it is another one of the things. You give me more money to make something, you might get a higher quality result. You're likely to get a higher quality result, I should say. I'm not driven by money, but I do need it to live, as we all do, unfortunately. Now, don't forget, I'm just learning here. I always wondered, because I always had the idea that everything had to be, you had to recreate things as you saw them. They had to be exact. And I always wondered how people did abstract things, but actually oil paints let you do abstract things much more easily. It's cool. I understand. I'm understanding how they did it. I like it. I want to try and make the colours not so muddy, of course. It's a bit too high up over there. Let me see what I can do about that. It's got to be picked up again. 1 second. My hands are not very stable today. That's okay. What I'm going to do is I can indeed take that little bit off up there. Blend. Nice, but I like these ones. This one I might move. It's my time to play. my time to see what happens. And have you guys ever oil painted before? Are you looking at this and you're like, oh my goodness, what is she doing? That's horrible. All the colours are so muddy and oh, how are you feeling? Down here. No, maybe I like it. Maybe I like it. I'm going to mix up a little bit of the red and blue colour. I think I need a little bit more of the oil in there. Can I get the oil like this? How close to the station do you live? Can you hear it? Yeah, I was thinking you might be able to. I live very, very close to it, I'm afraid. Don't want to give exact details, but very, very close, yeah. You'll be able to hear trains come past. In fact, I haven't noticed any of them because I just block it out. But yeah, you can hear the line going down to Osaka. It's going to need something else on there. The nice thing about not using too many colours is that it doesn't really matter how many you use. Even if it looks muddy, it's never going to look too wrong muddy, in my personal opinion, because you're still using the root of the same colours. Now, I've got to use that, because I always try not to use too much of everything, if I can help it. I think I might have to use a little bit more of some of these every now and again. Let's have a look. There you go, you can proper hear the train now, can't you? A kind of abstract looking fireworks box. I'm quite excited by this. I don't normally make abstract. I do quite a lot of impressionistic stuff, but not for trying, just for making things at speed. And I guess with the amount of time I have for this exhibition, maybe that's going to happen more than I might have anticipated. What can we see? Gotta make up a kind of bluey black again. Oh, my nails! Everything's getting covered. That means it's going well, I think. Still think I'm leaving this in. I really like it looking mistakey. I really love teaching people to let it go. Stop trying to perfect everything. Now, there's a time and a place, and a bigger canvas is definitely going to be a time and a place for having a go with some more fun details. But on these tiny little sketches, when I'm just having a play, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of mistakes. Let's go for a little linseed scoop. With any luck, I can use some of this for a different colour as well. I like making cakes and things too, so I'm finding this to be very satisfying. Now this is a very pinky version of it, but I do need a kind of pinky version coming in here. And maybe even an odd mist of yellow. But I don't know if that's going to come out very well. But we're here to play. That one's got a bit messy. Let me see what I can do. Oh no, I'm going to lose my mistake. I loved the mistake. Time to lose it. Time to lose it. Gonna lose that mistake now. Coming in. Shame. Oh well. There'll be new mistakes, won't there? Because I'm practicing. Okay. This, I will bring it up higher, I think. Oh, my hand's getting like painters, real painters' hands. My hands are getting like real painters' hands. They're changing colour. Finally, I can be a real painter. Yeah, can I get my new mistake? Too many new mistakes. What I need is get the real yellow happening up there. Bring my reference picture back in a second. Oh, it was a pinky yellow. Let's see. Not being able to touch everything is a bit of a problem. It's not really how I roll. You know I like to touch. I have to remind myself of the extreme patience game where you just have to wait a week or more and then you can work into it in a totally different way. We'll see. Let me see what one of you guys just said. Kendall, this is awful. You've ruined it. Let's see. Hello, Ginny. O tanjobi omedetou. O tanjobi omedetou. O tanjobi omedetou. O tanjobi omedetou. Happy birthday, Ginny. Happy birthday, lovely. I went to 4 one-hour classes at a local gallery, but the classes ended before I finished with a small 5x7 painting of a pumpkin on a picnic table in a park with a wheat field background. Ooh, you didn't have the paints to finish it. Oh, that sounds like a cool session that you went to, though. How are you, Ginny? In the middle of the night? You woke up excited for your birthday, no doubt. I've no doubt, right? Right? Says me, the most excited person of ever when it comes to birthdays. We're painting fireworks for your birthday. Kind of. All good here, good. How do you feel after your adventure? That's how to do a birthday, my friend. Go to Italy. Oh, I just put way too much red in there and lost my blue. Blue, where are you? It was so good. What was your highlight, Ginny? What's your major highlight? Was there anything special? Did you snog anyone? I would have. I'm kidding. Half kidding. Cool. Try not to touch that too much now. Brightest of yellow, come to me. Show us what you can be. Oh no! Picked up the wrong colour. Now, if I want to get white in there, I'm going to have to scrape off a little bit, or else it's not going to pick it up. I know, I can pick it up with this. Remove some of that. Just experimenting here. Just experimenting. That Venice eyeing up the gondoliers. Hello. Yes, that does sound like a treat. That does sound like a treat indeed. Try and do a healthy amount of white there. Oh. Permanent white. There's a name. Train incoming. Enjoy. Chugga, 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 choo choo. Right, it's probably not very wise for me to try and put a thick colour right on top of what I've already been doing, but I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it a little go, even though it might be a little bit of a silly move. I want a little bit of yellow mixed in it. They say if you go really thick over whatever was last, it should do the trick. I don't really know. Ooh, that's cool. I don't want to touch it too much. But I do. That's you never hear me say that ever. I don't want to touch it too much. Of course I want to touch it. I want to touch it loads and loads, but I'm not allowed to. We're trying to get the feeling of fireworks. Uh-oh, that one did not look good. No, those don't look good. Don't do those. Okay, stop doing those. There's too many. That's fine. We're gonna live with it. We're gonna live with my learning. Because that's what I'm doing right now. Right. Oh, good. That looks good. And this bit looks like it's rudely come into an area I didn't want it to be in. Sorry, mate, but you were not invited to that zone. I have to mix in all of the firework effects that I wanted again now. Down in that area. That's all right. Still got them over here. Okay. I know what yellow I want next. Let's have a look. Everyone nice and peaceful. I want this yellowest yellow. I've really made a go of this palette. It doesn't look like any professional painter's palette I've ever seen. That's all right. I don't need to be professional. I'm just me. How are you guys feeling about having your own personal Bob Ross? It's me. I'm your Bob Ross. Yet more white. Can I draw like this? Oh, good. I don't really want those dark bits in there. But I did want the feeling of fireworks bursting out of the thingy. That happy birthday song has made me not feel so sick anymore. Now, I want to find a way to get the stick in there. Maybe it's the only time I use the black. I don't know if that's going to work. Who knows? Oh my goodness, Charity. Lovely. Charity, was that the sponsors ones? The sponsors. Sponsors get the special ones. I think are you one of the Alpaca crew members? It's a bit hard to tell now. I'm trying to keep track of everyone. Try and learn. Over time, of course, I'll learn everyone. But my sponsors get access to really special extra videos. If you comment on the videos, then I'll be able to tell who's what. Ginny, are you saying she's got a real Bob Ross in her loo? That's fantastic. That's cool, isn't it? Now, I'm trying to get enough chocolate on the spatula to eat later. I'm kidding, it's not chocolate. What I'm trying to do is get enough to make a stick in a straight line. I think I need more blue. I do want it to really stand out. Almost hesitant to use real black, but you know what? I'm going to be a pro. I'm not going to do that. How did she get a real Bob Ross? Right, this is what I want. I want a lump. I want a pure lump of it. How would I do it? This could go drastically wrong. You're watching me make it painfully wrong. Oh, that's all right. Satisfied. I did it. Whew. I can rest now. go the way I wanted it. Sure. It's fine. You can tell from my it's not fine. I'm always honest about whether or not my fine is a real fine. And that's not a real fine. Okay, that's better. And then a little bit of reddy orange for the base part of it. And then this palette is done for. This one I've well overused. I'm going to exaggerate the orange of this, the red of it. Because it's mine, my artwork. Excuse me. Yeah. What do you think? Are you getting fireworks vibes? Are you getting there's a firework in a box vibe? Just an experiment. I'm feeling like a college student that needs to wash her hands. I guess that could have gone worse. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that sketch experiment. I think that's all right. I can see all of the ways in which it's not good. I can see all of the ways in which it could be better. I can see all of the ways in which it deserves to be loved as it is. What do you guys think? How are you feeling about it? She used to live in the US. Not sure how she got it. What is the tool I'm using? The tool I'm using is called a palette knife, lovely. Palette knife. I just got rid of one that looked actually like it looked like a little fireworks. That's a shame. Try not to erase any more that look like little fireworks. No, Clint said he learned about a year ago that the storage facility for all of Bob Ross's paintings is about 30 miles from his home. That's awesome. Not Bob Ross's home, from Clint's home. How cool is that? Okay, guys, I'm just doing you one today because I'm low on data. I'm low on internet data. So I'm going to do more in the background, but I'm not going to do them live, okay? I'm going to try and be able to do my tours next week, but I've basically only got enough data to do the one other tour I've got planned today, and then I've got to think about whether or not to buy more for my tours next week. Now, I probably will, but just in case I don't, then sorry if there isn't a tour next week, and a tour, an experience, a learning something. But don't worry, I'll be back full pelt the first 2 weeks of May, actually pretty stressed, trying to make as much art as I can, as fast as I can. Don't you worry. Here's the evidence. A little bit fumey in here. Might have to open the window even more. Thank you, Nancy. But don't worry, I'll still be here. And you know what? I'll still be posting progress pictures on probably on Instagram, but definitely on Buy Me a Coffee. So please do go on Buy Me a Coffee. I'll be posting progress on there, and also sponsors get extra things, and you can even download the pictures. Now, you don't have to buy me a coffee to do that. All you've got to do is follow. Give it a little follow, and then you can still see those things. If you do choose to become an Alpaca crew member, thank you very much. You get loads of cool stuff yourself. And you get to support peeps like me doing their best for every peeps going. I'm going to do my best for everybody. Teach and encourage and inspire, learn and grow. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. That's not what I meant to do, but it's fine. It's gonna be okay. What can I say? I'm going to try again. That's fine. Who cares even? No, I'm happy with it. I'm going to stop touching it. It's just going to go a version of wrong. All right, me babs. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. If you consider leaving a tip on buymeacoffee.com/MissKendalJames, I'd be very grateful. There's a link to linktr.ee/MissKendalJames where you can find everything I do in this very description box. So do consider doing that. And thank you all very, 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 very much. And I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Those are the old pieces just resting over there. They're a bit too wet to be picked up though, as is this one. Isn't it? Yes, Kendall. Thank you, Kimberly, for your bravo. Thank you, Clint, for your thanks, Kendall. And I'll catch you guys later. Ta-ra!